When the Syros first arrived, I actually liked what Kia had done. It was practical, spacious enough, and came loaded with a lot of features. But it never truly became the success story like the Kia Seltos or the Sonet did. And looking back, I think the reason was the part range never really matched the character and the personality of the Syros. But that changes with this one. This right here is the all-new Kia Syros EV, and this in particular is the X-Line version extended range with a battery pack of 51.4 kilowatt-hour unit, which means a claimed range of 526 kilometers, and that's put this car in the competition with the Tata Nexon EV and the MG Windsor EV. So is this finally the Kia Syros that we all have been waiting for? Let's find out. My name is Haji and you are watching CarWale. Before we proceed, why don't you hit the subscribe button? It is completely free and it will help you and us. You'll be always notified whenever we put out a new video. And by the end of this video, if you like this, then leave a like for us and also share this video with your friends and family. So without further ado, let's start the video. First, let's address the elephant in the room. The Syros' design isn't for everyone. Its upright, almost fridge-like proportion doesn't appeal to a lot of people, but I personally like how it looks. I mean, it is very unique, distinctive, and also prioritize function over form. And instead of completely redesigning the car, they have retained the upright proportions and distinctive styling that already made the Syros stand out. The changes are subtle but effective, and this X-Line finished in the exclusive matte graphite paint is easily the best looking version in the lineup. What's interesting is that this boxy silhouette actually makes even more sense as an EV. The tall roof liberates headroom, the upright body maximizes cabin space, and the compact footprint keeps it easy to drive in the city. Aerodynamic alloy wheels, a closed-off front grille, and EV-specific detailing are enough to distinguish it without taking away the Syros' identity. I like what Kia had done with the Syros EV's interior, which means they haven't really changed anything. The Syros already had one of the nicest and most practical interior, but of course you get minor tweaks here and there. First of all, there's this floating center console, which means I can keep my phone here. There's a place underneath, even a wireless charger over here with plenty of more storage. Then I like the new steering wheel. Also, what you can notice already by now is the theme. This is the X-Line. You get the black theme, but also with hunter green color on the steering and also on the door pads, even on the seat. And this one has started to grow on me. It looks really premium. Apart from that, you get the standard triple screen layout. There's physical controls for various functions, and overall this is one of the nicest cabin in its class. Kia has also borrowed the steering column mounted drive selector from the Kia Karan Singh EV and the Hyundai Creta Electric. It takes a little getting used to, but once you do, it feels intuitive and opens up even more space around the center console. Kia offers 3 interior themes across the Syros EV range. If you opt for any other variant apart from the X-Line, you'll get lighter dual-tone interior theme that makes the cabin feel airier. Being the top spec X-Line ER, this car gets the complete feature list including wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, Harman Kardon 8-speaker sound system, ventilated front seats, ventilated rear seats, a panoramic sunroof, power driver seat, wireless charging, ambient lighting, and even a 16-liter frunk. What impressed me more is how well Kia has integrated the EV-specific technology. Paddle shifters now control the regenerative braking, there's iPedal mode for one-pedal driving, vehicle-to-load functionality, battery conditioning, over-the-air updates, and an intelligent EV route planner. These aren't gimmicks, they are features you'll end up using regularly. Seated at the back, I'm happy to report it is as comfortable and spacious as I expected it to be. First up, there's plenty of leg room, knee room is very good. Also, there's place underneath the seat to slide my feet in. There's no transmission tunnel, which means there's no hump in the middle, so center passenger would be seated very comfortably. But because it is an EV, the floor is slightly raised up due to the battery pack underneath, and that's the reason my knees are facing slightly upwards. Apart from that, The seat base gets ventilation, so I'm really comfortable. You have a switch for that over here. Then you have your sun blinds, reading lamp. All in all, a very comfortable place to be in. But that's not enough because you get sliding function, recline function. All this in the Syros EV makes it one of the nicest cabin on the inside, similar to what Windsor has to offer with its very spacious cabin and feel. This one also does the job really well. It's me again, so don't close the video yet, and this is the bonus content time. First of all, if you go in the EV mode and if you swipe right here, there's an option for utility mode, which means if you're parked for a longer time or you're doing camping, you can activate this. You can use your mobile phone to charge, you can use the equipment to charge, but you can't drive the car in the utility mode. Second, you of course have drive modes for the car, but there's also brake mode, which means there's two options, normal and sport. And in sport, the car will use the regenerative braking to give you more aggressive braking performance. You don't have to carry this anymore because now you have digital key, which means smartphone key, NFC card. Also, you can share this with your friends and family, so everyone can unlock and go about with this car. Next, these might look like normal cup holders, but you can adjust the size so even larger and smaller bottles can fit inside. By pushing a button, now you can store smaller items like a can. So now it's time to get behind the wheel of the Syros EV and see how it performs, check its acceleration, ride quality, and also we'll see how it performs on the corners. And so let's put it in the drive mode, and here we go. So let's start with the specs first. You get two battery pack options. There's 42 kWh and 51.4 kWh battery pack with a claim range of 443 kilometers for the smaller battery and 526 kilometers for the larger this particular version. And the brand claims 0 to 100 acceleration time of roughly around 8.1 seconds. So we'll test that. So here we go. So right off the bat, the car feels extremely smooth, and of course it is an EV. There's no delay in the torque delivery, and instant torque makes it very easy to drive. I feel in city conditions this will be a breeze to live with and drive. Also, there is the similar kind of body roll that we have seen with the ICE Syros. Also, while I was coming to the shoot location, I could feel there was very bumpy roads and the car was feeling a bit floaty. So that characteristic has not changed from the Syros EV, but yeah, suspension feels slightly more stiffer compared to the ICE Syros, but not a dramatic change. You still feel that a mushy, slightly floaty suspension setup, but thanks to the battery and the center of gravity has been improved. So overall, it is much more planted. When once I take a turn or on a curve, it feels very confident to just shoot past without any hiccups. And there's a curve coming right here, and I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. See, there is considerable amount of body roll, but still the car is very composed in terms of its ride quality. Now I'll try to take a quick U-turn and see how the turning radius fares up. So it's not a wide road, and yeah, it took me 2 turns to actually turn the car. That's it. It's very easy. The steering column mounted drive selector, it's very easy to use, and that frees up the space so I can keep my phone. And in fact, it feels very comfortable at the front row itself. Also, there's ventilation for the seat, so I'm pretty comfortable. Although there's no dual zone climate control, so there's single zone. Having said that, the seats themselves feels very comfortable. Visibility all around is amazing. In fact, the pillars are not thick, so I can really see beyond past them. Also, there's a small window area between the pillar and the ORVM. So again, that helps in the overall visibility. And thanks to its boxy setup and the design, the windows are large, even the rear window. Because it is flat, it is very easy to spot things out of it. IRVM is very good. Talking about the drive modes, there are 3 drive modes to choose from: Eco, Normal and Sport. Currently I'm cruising in Normal mode and the power is good. Power delivery is good, acceleration is very nice. I'll just slow down, I'll take a pause and let's see how it performs in Sport mode. There's a drive button right on the steering wheel itself. As I click it, now I'm in Sport mode. Let's see if we can get the wheels spinning. Not so much, but yeah, it's quicker in Sport mode. Also, steering now has a little more weight to it. So I feel this is the mode most of the people would be driving in. And while we do that, I also have an eye on the range. Currently we are at 78% and the car's MID is showing 333 kilometers, which means what they claim could be slightly achievable. I'm expecting it to get or give around 400 kilometers, which again is a very respectable figure if it manages to do that. Another interesting point is just how easy it feels on the move. Everything works together and flow together really well. You have blind spot monitors, you have the turn, or you can say the camera coming up once you give the turn indicator right in front of you. So it becomes very easy to maneuver the car and be safe on the road. Another interesting bit is brake mode. Okay, now apart from the drive modes, you also have brake mode, which means there's 2 modes to choose from: Eco and Sport. All in all, what it is in Sport brake mode, the regenerative braking is also used apart from the standard braking, which means the car would brake much more aggressively to come at a halt. Let me just demonstrate how it works. So I'll be switching back to Sport mode and I'll just push the car and let's brake it once I hit 80 km/h speed, and there you go. A complete halt. The car didn't sway. The hazard light went off. That's the safety thing. Other than that, it is very stable even while I'm braking, harshly braking. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the performance. So the best thing about the Syros EV, in fact the best thing about the Hyundai and Kia EVs are just how conventional approach they have. It almost feels like you're driving an ICE car. In fact, it looks like an ICE car, be it the Hyundai Creta Electric, be it the Kia Karan Singh. They are exactly similar in terms of looks. Nothing flashy, and that also translates to how these cars drive. The driving factor is also very conventional. Apart from the quick acceleration, everything feels very ICE-like, and that could be the reason why sales is not that much of Kia and Hyundai electrics. Because when you look at the competition like Mahindra BEVs or electric SUVs, they offer flashy design. Then they also offer that quirkiness when it comes to drivability. They are very sportier in that nature that you'll miss here. It is like a family 4-seater, 5-seater car that can deliver a good range if you drive very peacefully, very calmly, not pushing it harder. What impressed me the most wasn't necessarily the final range figure, but how predictable the battery management system felt throughout the drive. The estimated range remained consistent instead of fluctuating wildly, giving you much more confidence when planning longer journeys. When you finally do need to charge, Kia claims a 10 to 80% charge in just 39 minutes using a 100 kWh DC fast charger, making highway stops surprisingly manageable. To refresh your memory, let me remind that Kia a few months back removed safety features like the ADAS and some other features from the standard Syros, but with this one they have gone all out with safety tech. This one packs level 2 ADAS suite with over 16 functions, 360-degree cameras, 6 airbags, electronic parking brake with auto hold, tire pressure monitoring system, and even hill hold assist and features like that. So in terms of safety, this one packs a lot of punch. Well, what's interesting now is the ownership package is equally reassuring. Kia now offers a 15-year unlimited kilometers warranty on the battery for the first owner, along with an assured buyback program promising up to 80% of resale value after 3 years. There's also a battery as a service program finance option to reduce the upfront purchase price, while the K-Charge ecosystem gives buyer access to over 20,000 charging points across the country. And for people wondering about the bus price, the entry-level Kia Syros EV will cost you 7.99 lakh along with a 3.3 rupees fee for every kilometer in terms of bus pricing. The biggest takeaway after spending some time with the Syros EV is how the electric powertrain brings the Syros to life. The spacious cabin, tech-loaded and feature-loaded experience on the inside, range, efficiency, the way the car handles itself, and overall, the product as a whole comes together really well with the electric derivative compared to the ICE. And I feel with this is the car that the Kia Syros should have begun its India journey with an EV powertrain. However, the challenge lies beyond the product itself. The Syros never became the success story Kia hoped for, so the EV enters an already competitive segment without the backing of a strong nameplate. At the same time, rivals like the Mahindra's electric SUV duo and the MG Windsor EV have already built a strong presence by offering future designs and excellent value. The Syros EV is undoubtedly a well-rounded package, but its pricing makes the fight tougher. A more aggressive price could have made it a far more compelling alternative. As it stands, Kia has a capable EV on its hands, but convincing buyers to choose it over the established favorites won't be easy. Overall, I think this is the Syros Kia should have launched in the first place. The electric powertrain transforms the way the SUV feels, and if you're willing to look beyond the unconventional styling, you will find one of the most practical, feature-rich and refined family EVs in the segment. Whether that's enough to translate into strong sales, though, is a question only the market can answer.